This week is going to be very interesting. We have a lot of news coming out left and right. I mean, you guys saw what we were able to accomplish last week with those multi-1,000% gains there, or what was it, 1,500%. We had a couple other epic ones in there. We'll see what we get this week. Market's looking pretty good right now for a couple of reasons here. We're going to be covering those. I'll let you guys filter in. We'll do our good mornings. We have yields moving to the downside, oil moving back down. Now, the one thing I will say about oil right now is that it is still significantly elevated from the time period where we last heard from Powell. So they still have that door open to be a little bit more hawkish and cautious when it comes to, again, this potential rise in inflation that a lot of these economists have been forecasting as a result of the new trade policy. Now, again, don't let these people tell you if we do see that spike up in inflation that it's a result of the tariffs just yet. It'll be very obvious if it is a result of oil prices moving higher. But ladies and gentlemen, here, it is that time of day again. Say good morning to somebody in the live chat. If you guys would like to say good morning to me, would love to receive some good mornings over here. You guys are new to the group, new to the stream, let me know. I'd love to welcome you guys in here. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys are hitting that like button on the way in. Costs you nothing to do it, but it helps me out a whole lot in spreading these streams out to as many people who actually want to learn. It's going to be a very fun week. We have FOMC Wednesday, we have no market Thursday, and then back Friday. So that creates some very, very interesting possibilities for what could happen this week. So let's see who we got in here as you guys are filtering in. We'll do a little bit of a roll call. Let's see who we've got in here. Say good morning to everybody, team. Let's see. So we do have a couple other pieces of news here. That is one of the main reasons why the market is rallying up so hard. Iran signals it wants to de-escalate hostilities with Israel. Iran says privately it will resume talks if the U.S. stays out of the fight here. Iran seeks talks with the U.S. and Israel, sending messages via Arab intermediaries to end hostilities. We also have this. Iran asked Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Oman to ask Trump to press Israel to agree to immediate ceasefire. Two Iranian and three regional sources said to Reuters. In return, Iran to offer flexibility in nuclear negotiations with the U.S. So I think that was, again, we were supposed to have that meeting this weekend between the U.S. and Iran. That did not end up happening because of those Israeli strikes that started on Thursday. So we'll see. The market is viewing this very positively here so far. And again, Tesla looking good here. Palantir looking good. A lot of these other names are looking really strong as well. But let's see what we got in the live chat this morning. How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? So we've got Justin, Eddie, Mike, David, Kimberly. There's a lot more of you guys in here. But again, keep smacking that like button on the way in, guys. If you guys have not already, helps out a whole lot spreading these streams over here. Yields moving down, I do like. Nvidia's getting close here. So though we were talking about this one earlier, Nvidia, I mean, I would actually, hold on, that's not oil. This is oil. So this is a very, very crazy chart here on oil. We did see, again, that big gap up and then a significant sell-off and move down in oil prices here. I'd really like to see this get back down below the 200 EMA in order for me to be like, all right, oil is probably going to hang out at these lower levels. But again, if things re-escalate, the talks don't go well, you'll probably be in this big range with oil with some significant amounts of volatility. Again, the reason why, and like I said in the YouTube video from this weekend, guys, is like I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm sort of geopolitical expert like a lot of these other people are trying to tell you. But what we can do is look at the effects of what's happening and say, okay, what is then the overall market going to look at as a result of the new developments that we've seen? And the most important thing is oil because it is in everything. I forget the exact statistic, but Powell said something interesting like a few years ago at one of those banking hearings that for every $10 move up that you see in oil, I think it's like a 0.1% decrease in GDP, but like a 0.2 or 0.3% increase in CPI. So seeing this significant move up in oil prices is definitely not good for that stagflation narrative that we've been witnessing here. So Tesla, again, remember what we were talking about last week on this one. If we can start to get a couple of days here or start consolidating right around or on top of this daily 10 exponential moving average, we could have a very, very, very bullish short-term setup here coming in on Tesla. I know a lot of you guys in the Less Trades More Profit group nailed this one up here. Congratulations to you guys, but we are looking to see if we can set up another one here. Palantir was another one from the list here this weekend. Again, that break of 140 that we saw, again, now trading at 143. Really, really solid move there. Let's see, I haven't taken a look at SoFi yet today, but that, yep, SoFi up 3.44% here today too, looking good. HIMS, I think, is having another good day here too. Yeah, HIMS up 10.5% there. That's nice. Again, though, with this one, this is one that I hope you guys were looking at down in here, 30 to 31, where I was given this one. I think we talked about it in the group, or in the YouTube videos. I know we were talking about this one in the group, but again, I would not be buying this one up here. That's just how I like to do things. But let's see. Made some good money on AMD. There you go. There you go, Tim. Yeah, I mean, that one's not really setting up for us here, so it's not one that I'm interested right now. But, yeah, I mean, I owned a bunch of shares of that thing at $11.39, so obviously having fun on AMD. Seeing those movements to the upside today are nice. RDW. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, that looks nasty. I mean, that looks very interesting. I don't know much about this one, but yeah, that's a very, very good looking setup there. UEC is killing. Is that a uranium one? Yeah, so we talked about these uranium names yesterday, but again, with these types of energy moves, when you see these conflicts, if you're not in, this is why I typically will stay away from energy, mainly when you see these conflicts. If you're not in it before, you could easily trap yourself in something like this where you're like, oh, look, the oil chart is bullish now, and then you get railed by that move to the downside. This is the one thing that I think a lot of people need to start realizing a little bit more about the market and the way that I operate. Again, if you want to have different results than everybody else, you have to think and act differently than everybody else. When you see crazy things start happening in the market, what a lot of people do then is they think that that means that it's time to take action. And 99% of the time, it's the time to not take action because everybody's going to be going all over the place. You still don't know what the actual results of like the whatever's happening are actually going to be. So you're basically sticking your hand on a hot stove and hoping that you don't get burned. So just be careful. AMD's going to murder NVIDIA with the new P. Dude, I own a lot of AMD, man. I'd love to see that. I would love to see AMD continue to do it. Enphase coming back down. Enphase has not broken out yet, so I haven't even looked at this one yet. Yeah, this one, Enphase first. It makes more sense to have a shares trade on this one if we're gonna look at it versus a options trade. The chain on it's busted. The chain on Enphase is busted here. You don't want to go near this one. So. Shares, though, it does make sense. But it hasn't even broken out yet, so I'm going to be waiting on that one. I probably won't do anything with it, but we'll see. I love Datadog. Datadog looks great right now. Let's see. Ooh, you guys are crushing the like button today. Thank you, guys. Let's see. Yeah, Tessie looks really good too. This is, again, it was a little bit wonky in here, but now that we're seeing Tesla kind of pop back above the 10 here and start to flatline, I really like how this looks. This, Datadog, there's a couple of other really good ones. Novo, being a disappointment to its bloodline today. Is Riley a basin break? Isn't that B. Riley Financial? No, this is nothing. You don't want this. This does not look good here. This is not one that we would want to be taking a look at. Yields moving down. Absolutely like to see that. What else do we got? You guys got any questions about anything? Let me know. That's why we do these streams. But yeah, we are seeing some positive developments here. The one thing too is, guys, this is what we should talk about as well. This is not the week to be taking a lot of action in the market. Here is why. Remember, those of you guys that are in the Less Trades More Profits group, I mean, 2 weeks in particular, but really like the last month and a half, 2 months, has been absolutely insane with you guys. What a lot of people will do is they'll look at the hot streak that they're on and they'll kind of start widening the scope of what they want to do. And they're like, oh, maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll do this. When I go on these big hot streaks, guys, I do a lot less. I get even more picky because I'm trying to focus on, okay, what were the actions that I took to get us the setups and the trades that we've had, and what do we then have to do to continue that type of performance? Now think about what this week is. We have a lot of these tensions heating up between Israel and Iran. Yes, we are seeing some de-escalation, but that's not the important part. The important part is that we have a lot of new uncertainty and volatility introduced into the market with FOMC Wednesday and then no trading on Thursday. That's the important part. Typically, what you will see is the market's going to take a day-ish or two to kind of price in and digest what was said and discussed at the FOMC meeting. Now, if you have the FOMC meeting Wednesday and then you have no market Thursday and then you have Friday, that's introducing a higher possibility of a big gap, some in up or down. Well, then it becomes binary, and I don't really want to be putting my money into a binary thing, you know? And with FOMC anyway, I'm pretty much going to be hands off. People are like, oh, I want to trade FOMC. It's like, I don't know why you want to do that, but let's see. Aspen, yeah, that's one. I mean, I've looked at that one for a while. It's not something that I want yet. I'd have to do a little bit more work on this thing, but this is actually forming a nice little setup here. Do I see bull running? Again, this is one that I'm looking at here. I want this thing to drop below 10, and then I'm going to start taking a look at this one a little bit more in terms of their numbers. I got to see what's actually out with them to kind of get a better understanding of their business model and see where they're generating their revenues from and how those revenues actually look. Their margins, everything like that. I just haven't done the work on it yet. But right now, this is not one that I want, but in the future, it definitely is one that I'm going to keep my eye on. MP. Yeah, HIMS is doing well tonight. This one, yeah, I mean, I would assume this one is up with all the China stuff, and I mean, I wouldn't buy this. This is not a chart that you buy. It just isn't. You know, it's like, oh, it's up. It's like, yeah, but that doesn't mean you buy it. Because everything that I do, guys, is all thinking about probabilities in the market, and it's risk to reward. If you can start thinking about the market from a probabilities perspective, and then also risk to reward, your performance is going to shift drastically. And just like the fact that there's always new setups out there. Like people will be like, oh no, but I really wanted this one. And it's like, yeah, but it's either you're late, it gapped, it's this, that, the other. It's like you don't chase things ever. You know? You gotta be very, very, very careful in the market because there's risk involved. There's always risk involved. I love how Tesla looks here, guys. I'm really, really a big fan of how Tesla is moving right now. Very big fan. Like if you can get 1 or 2 more days. And so going back to what I said before about FOMC, if there are very solid setups that do form, which there's a lot of them in the Discord, there's a lot of really good looking setups that I gave you guys this weekend. That's fine. I might take them, but with shorter time to expiration and size it for 0. So my whole position size is my risk. So okay, it goes to 0. You get those big gaps. All right, fine. It's not the end of the world. But if they hit, they can still, and again, the way that I do things is very simple to turn small amounts of money into large amounts of money. Like you guys saw last week, the Oracle trade, 1,500%. I'm out of that one as of this morning, full position, out, gone. But that was an absolutely epic trade. And that strategy, guys, is like the easiest thing in the world. The post-earnings, like if you guys take away anything from like the group or any post-earning strategy, you could just trade that and be perfectly fine. The last 3, I mean, Oracle was 1,500%. Zscaler was, I don't know, 800 something percent for you guys. And then what, Dollar General was 700%. That's the last 3 post earnings that have qualified. That's insane. Let's see. Palantir, how's this one looking? Coming down a little. I mean, this market just looks strong. This just looks strong today off of that de-escalation stuff. I do think, though, that there is still a door open for Powell to be a little bit even more cautious at this meeting coming up. They're going to point to like a little bit of a move up in some of the inflation data, but again, it was lower than what the market was expecting, which is good. And then if you also look at CPI and PPI, and then kind of use that to extrapolate what PCE could be, it does look like you can get a good PCE reading. Growth is looking all right. You do have some weakness in the labor market, which again, the Fed is going to start looking out for, but with what they've said so far, they're not really going to care about that until they feel very comfortable that inflation is not going to move back up, which is probably a quarter away. The post earnings trades are amazing. Yeah, I know, Kimberly. Did I close Oracle because I saw a drop coming? Okay, ready? So this is like, remember how I was just talking about like logic and probabilities? Here's the thought process behind it. Did it drop? Oh yeah, okay. So remember, what I'm thinking about here is, remember, all years and years of watching the market. But if you can just think logically, you can get some really good insights into the market, especially short-term stuff. But this is going to be the simplest thing in the world. And when I say it, you're going to be like, oh, that makes sense. It's like, yeah. Okay, so the market gaps up, what, 0.6% today? It's about what the S&P was up going into open. Oracle had a very, very strong 2 days following their earnings. Oracle was down in the pre-market. Okay, so if the broad market is up as much as it was, and the stock that I'm in is not trading higher, and I'm already up, like at close on Friday, I was up 1,500% on them. And now I think I sold them for like 1,200%. Okay, whatever. Like, that doesn't make any difference to me. But think about it. If just broad market is up, the stock that we're in is not up, does that mean... It was a yes or no question, kid. Hey, Jesus, what I will tell you right now is if you want to learn things, this is the stream for you. If you just want me to just say yes or no, then you can leave. I mean, I do this for you guys. So sorry if I'm talking over your head here. I'll try and make it a little simpler for you. But thinking about it like that, when you have those situations occur, what are the probabilities saying? Well, why is it down? It's like, well, it was already up so much. Might as well just take the rest of the position off and be done. There's no reason to keep holding it. I'm up 1,200%. You know? It's as simple as that. But like, it's not like, oh, I think it's going to go down. It's just looking at the market and saying, okay, well, this is probably a good time. I could have just kept holding it though. Like so I had scaled out 2 times prior to that instance there at like 130%, I think it was. And then like, I don't know, 400 or 500%, I think you guys saw. So even after the first scale out, I could have let the entire rest of the position just go. And it could have gone to literally 0, and I would have still made money. So I just had a risk-free position that I was able to make 1,200% on. Okay, cool, thanks. Easy enough. Once you guys see how simple this stuff is and what I do every day, you're gonna be like, I wish I was doing this all along. And I'll be like, yeah, I wish you guys were too. It'd be a lot better for you guys being over here making money. But yeah, so again, everybody gets their first 2 months for 50% off to the group. That sale ends in 2 weeks here? So the link's at the top of the live chat. Use code June if you guys want to jump in there with us. After that, though, we're going waitlist only, and you won't be able to hop in. Yeah, market looks good here. Tessie's still looking great. I really like how this setup looks here. Looks really good. Wow, you guys are crushing the like button today. Thank you, guys. 18 away from 50 already, and we're what? 17 minutes in? You guys are crushing today. Thank you. But yeah, not really all that amped up about doing a whole lot and being too active this week. Just going to let the market do what it wants to do. There's going to be a lot of great setups forming, though. Really great setup forming. Good decisions making equals profit. Yeah. The other thing that people say sometimes too is like nobody ever went broke taking profits, which I actually kind of disagree with. You need to be able to hold your winners. Like think about if I just decided to sell Oracle at 100%. Every single trade that I give you guys has the ability to run multi-hundred and multi-thousand%. That's why everybody's able to have so much success. Because you don't need very many of them to crush it. That's the point. Makes it easy for everybody. You don't have to sit there staring at the market every single day. Keep it simple. Tessie might shoot up here in terms of like, just like how I'm looking at it in terms of the ranking on my watch list. Like I love where, I actually got to look at this. Where's Datadog now? Yeah, I still love, this is an epic looking setup here. There's a few more that I'm interested in as well. Enphase looks okay. But we'll see. Been a minute. You always give great views of the market. James, thanks, man. I appreciate that, man. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, make sure you guys have notifications turned on for the YouTube channel if you don't, so you're notified and you make sure that you see the videos and the streams and everything. But yeah, I'm doing these streams every day at 10:30 for you guys. I don't do market open because that's when I'm live privately for the Less Trades More Profits group. Then we come on here after. Fridays, you guys get the full length streams though. This is public live day on Fridays. But yeah, make sure you guys take advantage of that sale. If you don't, I mean, that's your loss, man. You guys won't be able to hop in there with us getting these multi-hundred and multi-thousand% gains. It's all right, though. More gains for us. You tried taking base hits all the time, never made any progress? Yep. You don't want to do that. Base hits do not win in the market. You need the home runs. So with share trading, you just put take profits and stop loss and forget? Yep. I mean, I'll look, but like I will be like the only time that I'll look at things is like pre-market if I'm in shares to see if there's gaps. If there's gaps, then I have to do something with it, but typically not. It's very rare. Like I can only think of, guys, one instance where I've been gapped big time in like the last year. And it was on that Affirm. Back in, I think, December. That was it. Where it like falls through a level and you're like, well, sometimes it happens. Very, very, very rarely though, especially with the way that we operate in the market. Where's SoFi over here? How's that looking? AMD, my baby. Ho, 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 ho. Look at us, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I'm making some money today. Oh, boy. Remember, I was thinking of actually getting rid of more of my AMD position that I've held for years. But I was telling you guys this over like the last 3 weeks here that like, I mean, I have covered calls that expire this month that I sold last year when AMD was at like 200. So I think they're 240 strikes. So then I took that money, threw it into yen, doubled it. That was nice. But now I really don't think I'm going to be selling any AMD. RKT still looking good. That one I'm probably not going to be going near. I mean, it looks good. I did see some we watched some movement on it last week. But remember, the rate ideas right now are very difficult because the market is not overpricing anything on one side with rates. So like when I'm able to nail the tops and bottoms of the bond market, it's around the times that like you're seeing crazy pricing in the bond market, which you're not seeing right now. Like 2 rate cuts for this year priced in is normal. That's fine. If it gets to like 7 or they start pricing in hikes, then that's when I'll start taking a look at it. Other than that, no. AMD looking great though. Where's Facebook today? Oh yeah, dude. This actually still looks interesting. But let's see. Dude, 12 likes away from 50? You guys are crushing it today. Shout out to you guys. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I would assume this. I mean, I still love Datadog though, just because this one is setting up for like a long sustained move if it wants to break. So that could be a fun one that we look for. Tessie could be. Where's Nvidia? Is this one getting close again? It's teetering. This reminds me of that Microsoft move that we hit that was like good, but it was like, it wasn't textbook, you know? Meta? I will never call it Meta. It's Facebook to me. When the demand comes back to the housing market, when RKB be positioned incredibly well? Yes, but the problem is that you have to see the housing market get slaughtered first. Because, so let's play this out. If rates come down, what happens? Well, there ends up being more supply in the housing market, I would think. There might be more demand. It might balance out a little bit here. But at the end of the day, you're going to see already the existing, like, you probably see home prices go down with lower rates first, just because there's going to be more volume and transactions happening in the housing market. Now, with lower rates, it might not go down as much, but right now, there's going to be a lot less demand for people buying houses than there would be if rates were 3, you know? So after you get through that period, then yes, RKT probably will be positioned very well. But it's like, what is going to drive the demand back for housing? Well, lower rates maybe, but it'd have to be sustained lower rates over time. It wouldn't, it's not just going to be like a rate cut and then, you know, RKT explodes. Maybe it does, but I think that would be pretty difficult to to argue there. So, what else are we looking at here? Yeah, any other questions that you guys have, just let me know. That's what I'm here. All right, I mean, are they really gonna send this one up again? Let me look at the chain. It's probably stupid. The chain's probably stupid on this one. Yeah, I don't like that chain. I don't like that chain. Can SoFi break out? Well, I mean, it doesn't really have a breakout setup. You have the weekly breakout that actually doesn't look bad, but you have, like I talked about in the YouTube video that I posted, what, for you guys on Saturday? I'm not a fan of this weekly candle. Plus, with that Chime IPO, when everybody was talking about, like, oh, SoFi's moving according to Chime. It's like showing, like, oh, fintech appetite. It's like, yeah, but you didn't see any fintech appetite with Chime. Like, yeah, it came out at a crazy valuation, but that typically happens with IPOs. So, like, SoFi, I think, is going to have a lot of success in the long run. But in the short term, especially if you guys are thinking about, like, investments, you got to have a longer-term vision. You know? Like, you can't be like, if I'm trading, I have a very specific set of criteria that I'm looking for the breakouts. And it's so simple. Once you guys see it, you're going to be like, it's that easy? Yeah. But when you're looking at longer term investments, it's like, okay, what is the thesis with SoFi right now? It's user growth, it's average revenue per user growth also, and then crypto coming back, and then also just in general their ability to grow in this type of environment, and I think they're going to be able to. So in the long term, they look great. In the short term, I really don't care what happens to it. Also, I own the shares at 655, so what do I care if it goes from 14 to 12? You know, it's like, it can do whatever it wants in the short term. What I was saying was that if for some reason it breaks back down to this 200 EMA right around 12 and starts to show signs that it wants to bounce there, then yeah, I might buy a little bit more. But other than that, I'm just letting this position ride. Tesla, I think, looks really good in here. What is it? It's like 235.50, I like, something like that, right around there. The problem is you're going into Powell and then no trading and then Friday. So I think that's going to be a little funky. You know? So you do have to get a little, only way to learn is to get in? Sorta. Because a lot of the times people will make mistakes and then not understand the mistakes that they make, so then they're just going to keep making them. Like, oh, look, everybody's talking about this one stock. I buy it and it tanks. It's like, well, okay, you got to realize, don't do that. When it's just like understanding the emotional elements of the market. When everybody's talking about something or there's something big happening, everybody loves to just like, it's like a magnet to them. They just like automatically go right towards that thing when I act the exact opposite way. And it's just like, I'll stay away. I'll just focus at what I know, on what I know will work over the long run and just keep doing that over and over and over and over again. The market should be boring. Yes, it's very fun when we have weeks like we've had where like, oh, look, here's a 700%er, here's an 800%er, here's a 1500%er, which are all fun. But most of the time in the market, it's just boring. And that's the way it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be exciting. Yeah, sort of. I mean, you might trade lower here. It's fine. Let the market do what it's going to do. I'm not really looking to be too active this week anyway, so I'd like for the market to just kind of hang out. You're going to have so many good setups. If we can get through Powell without anything crazy, guys, I can't even begin to describe the amount of epic opportunity that there's going to be. With shares, you also don't need many wins if you risk 2% and make 1 to 5. Oh, I know. 1 to 5 risk reward? Yeah, dude. Well, that's kind of with everything, though. Like, when you guys see those big trades, it's like, well, yeah, we hit them, and then we can just go on cruise control. Like, I'm never in a rush to do anything, ever. I'm fine with, like, if there's, like, a 3-week, a month, 2-month period where the market's like, hey, don't do anything. I don't. I'm here to find really high-quality setups and hammer them. because I know what the results are going to be over time of operating in the market with that type of methodology. That's why I called the group Less Trades, More Profits. Because if that's what you focus on, those are the types of results that you'll generate. I smell food and now I'm getting hungry. They're probably cooking outside. Yeah, and then I have a lot of stuff I gotta do today, so I should be able to still get a YouTube video out for you guys recapping everything. But it just might come out later today. Just letting you guys know. So just make sure you have notifications turned on for the YouTube channel if you don't already. Nvidia's getting close here. I might play around with that with like a size for 0, just to have some fun on it. Because it qualifies, and you've got some interesting levels that you could go and target here. Jimmy, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Ooh, 7 likes away from 50 now. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Ooh, what's this? Oh, no. I thought there was something going on. All right, I mean, if they want to hit this, I might play. Again, I don't really like how the market looks up here, but we'll see. Interaction with the group is key. Thanks, Justin. I appreciate that, buddy. I like Tesla. Semis look good in general here, too. Like, if you look at SMH here, semis look good. AMD's ripping today. I mean, what was the news on this thing? Let me find it. Hold on. Because that's, I mean, AMD is not just up 9% for no reason. Let's see what we got. Price target raised to 140 from 125 at Piper. Yeah, I mean, it looks good, man. I don't really have plans on selling it anytime soon either. Oh, PlayStation 6? Okay, cool. Yeah, I'd have to look at that. I haven't seen the news on it. But remember, it's not one that I'm trading short term. It's shares that I've owned for a long period of time. So obviously, having one of my top holdings be up 9.5% today, that's good. $10 billion deal with Saudi this morning. Is that a new one? Because they already did that, I thought. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was... Because that was with Humane, wasn't it? No, the buyback is $6 billion on AMD. And the ZT Systems manufacturing side of the business sale was $3 billion. So they're going to be able to... I mean, it's just an additional $3 billion that they're going to have for that buyback if they want, but yeah, looks good. Market dripping a little. It was announced last week, Saudi deal with AMD. No. Yeah, I don't think it was. If it's a different one than the one with Humane, then sure. But it sound because the old one was $10 billion as well. Like, that was the details of the deal last time. So this could just be news getting reiterated. It's like when people were like, oh, Trump's on the Epstein list. And it's like, guys, do we not remember that when the Epstein stuff was coming out that, like, he was mentioned? I was like, I don't know why people are freaking out about this. Like, when Elon was saying his stuff, I was like, didn't we already know this? You know? There's NVIDIA. Ooh, hello. Hello, NVIDIA. Hello there, buddy. See that? Nice little break and shoot. It was finalized today. All right, cool. All right. You guys are getting a freebie right now. If NVIDIA hits, first TP, 150. There you go. Market's selling off there too. NVIDIA just doesn't care. Hello, that's interesting. AMD ripping to the highs, nice. Dude, if Tessie stays here, I'm telling you, we could have some fun. And I'll tell you guys too, now, anything I do this week, size for 0. I am not taking on any significant amount of risk. Due to, again, all of the tensions, all the conflict, we have Powell Wednesday, we've got a lot of stuff going on that we have to be aware of. Yeah, that's nice. Novo. Yeah, I mean, this could get going here. I mean, that's a nice breakout on NVIDIA. If you see some follow through on this, like if the market gets bought out, I mean, that could be a good one. That could be a real good one. Is Tesla a good buy? I personally don't want to own Tesla. It's just not for me. It's like I've talked about in the videos. And for those of you guys in the Less Trades More Profits community know, this is setting up for an awesome short-term setup here. So yeah, I mean, when you guys hop in, first things first, go watch the learning curriculum videos, the Swing Kings course and the Day Trading Mastery course. All of the content in there is going to help you guys, like, even if you don't want to day trade, which again, 99% of what I do is swinging, all of like the risk management and psychological lessons in those videos are going to help you out a whole lot. So watch those, pay attention to the private live streams that I do every single day for you guys in there. And then again, for those of you guys that are hopping in, it's 50% off your first 2 months with code June. It literally comes out to $1 a day and you get access to everything. So that sale ends at the end of this month. And then after this month ends, we're going waitlist only. So you won't be able to hop in. I might open up some spots on the streams or the videos or something every now and then, but yeah, NVIDIA looking really good here so far. What are these contracts up already? Oh, 31%. All right. Jimmy, you keep talking about open interest, man. You know I don't care about it. Yeah, NVIDIA's showing a lot of strength here with the market pulling back too. I like to see that. Tessie, I just want it to hold above the daily 10. We'll see from there. You early birds aren't going to get charged. What would you get charged for, Maro? What would you get charged for? The only thing would be when I re-release the mastermind. That's it. But I don't even know when I'm going to do that. I said this week I'd start working on those videos again for you guys, but I don't know. US Grok, it said bullish for SoFi. Dude. It's going to say that, but have you looked at the put side? I could probably look at the put side too and say the same thing, you know? You know, I'll look right now for you. Like for June. You want to look for June, which is this week? This is also like quad witching this week too, so. Where's open interest? Do I not have it on here? Oh, no, I do. 130,000 on the put on the. Yeah. Yeah, so there's 130,000 on the June 27th 16s. Yeah, but there's also 130,000 on the put side for the month of this week. So Dude, I'm biased, bro. No, Jimmy, I'm not saying that it's going to come down. I'm saying what you're looking at to determine whether it's going to go up or down is useless. Because I just pointed out, oh, there's also 130,000 open interest on the 12 strike for this week. On the put side. Okay, so now where's your conclusion? You're like, you know, I'm not saying you, I'm just saying, like, if I were looking at that, I'd be like, what now? You know? It's not, I literally could care less about where the open interest is. It's not something that's going to give you any sort of meaningful edge. NVIDIA looks really good here. Those might be up like 40% already. 47%. Woo! Look at me over here doing nothing. Yeah, Jimmy, I was just making a point. Like, oh, there's 130,000 on the whatever 16s for June. It's like, well, there's also 130,000 on the 12 puts. You know? Doesn't tell you anything. AMD, man. Look at this beast. I might have to take a look at the big accounts later. See what those are up today with AMD and Facebook and everything else moving up like this today. NVIDIA's tapping its head on 146 right here. If this breaks through, you might get a little spicy here. There it is. There she goes. Yeah, so I mean, first target for me. Oh wait, no, that's 149, not 150. Whoops. Yeah, so we're $3 away on NVIDIA for first TP. Be able to make it free before Powell would be so nice. I'd love that. I mean, I could just, these are up already a lot. 46%? I don't know. We'll see. It's size for zero. I don't really care about this trade. I don't really care about any of them. It's just like, remember, the outcome of one individual trade is meaningless. Why are you always missing the big moves? I mean, Jimmy, we hit most of them. But it's just like, all right, I'll tell you guys this too. It's like, when stocks are about to make giant moves, a lot of the time they look the exact same before they do. And that's what I look for every time. Just want to say, SB, you have made things so boring with trading, which is what I love. Things are so much easier and relaxed. Thanks, Maro. I mean, that's the goal. Jinko Solar Weekly? Yeah, I can. It's a good chart. It looks good. Remember, I'm kind of looking at Enphase here too. I think Solar might be in for a little bit of a run into the summer here. Ooh, Enphase back down. Yeah. Well, this is not one that we're in. It still needs to break, but. It looks good. I'd be a fan of that. Ooh, 2 likes away from 50. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Again, make sure you guys have notifications turned on for the YouTube channel as well. Don't miss any of the videos. Those are going to help you guys out a lot. Jimmy, good for you, man. Hopefully you made some money off of it. Yeah, and then like my goal with the group with you guys too is to make you guys all self-sufficient. It's not like, oh, listen to me. No. The reason why my group is able to have so much better success than a lot of these other people out there is because of the different way that I do things with you guys in there. It's all focused on you guys learning these skills, because once you learn them, nobody can ever take them away from you. That's the point. So, video still looks good here. Let's see what happens with it. Novo's being a disappointment to its bloodline today. I wanted to see what happened at 82.50, and then JP Morgan had to come in here and ruin the party. I gotta see what's gonna happen with that Canada thing. No. I didn't say because it's summer. I said this summer. I see what you mean, but like I didn't. Okay, if I did say that, I misspoke. I meant this summer, not because it's summer. You know, that, if I said that, I didn't mean to say that. You went heavy on SoFi again. Dude, you love that thing. Jimmy, you're way more active in the market than I would ever be. Again, I give you guys probably 5 to 10 in terms of like the mid to long term ideas, 5 to 10 really high quality, high probability ideas every single year, and I hammer them. That's how I do things. That's how the most successful investors of all time have done it. That's how I do it. I don't look at SoFi trading in a range and I'm like, I'm going to hit it now. It's like, no, I don't do that. Tessie looks filthy here. Again, I mean, I'm not front running this. Like, if tomorrow it breaks, I'd actually be a little disappointed because then you're going into the FOMC day. Which, I mean, I could size that for 0-2 and then just have some you suck at day trading. I think 99% of people suck at day trading. That's why, like, a lot of the people that are in my group now were, like, trying to day trade for years, and then they came and did this, and they were like, oh, my God, this is so much better. And I was like, yeah, I know. I know. That's why it works so well. It's so much easier. It's like, it's different. It's completely different. Cheap is relative, James. They're probably not cheap. Like, if I were to look at them and actually, like, price them out on what they should be versus what they're trading, they're actually probably not cheap for what you're getting out of them. Just because they're 15 cents doesn't mean they're actually cheap, you know? Like, it's possible that they should be worth 5, but they're trading at 15 to 20 due to the increased IV on it. I don't know. I haven't looked at it, but it's not one that I really want to look for. Enphase is a great example. NVIDIA. Does my Discord focus on swing trades? Yeah, that's like 99% of what we do. Yeah. It's the way we talk about it in the videos, it's a short-term trading and long-term investing community. It's everything. But day to day, we're 99% of the time we're focused on the swings. Like, I give you guys the volatility zones and stuff too for the day trades if you want them, which are filthy. What do you call it? I mean, you guys have the day trading mastery course with the fib strategy. The overnight strategy is nasty too. I know Daniel hit that one today. Those are fun. But yeah, 90%, well, I don't want to say 99% of what we do in there is swings. You don't have to stare at the market all the time. You can come in, you look at the watch list that I send out every week, and I update them throughout the week. You hang out on the streams. A lot of the time, we're just sitting here having fun. It's like, oh, watch the positions cook. If they don't play out, they don't play out. Cut them early. DraftKings is starting to look decent. Ooh, I haven't traded DraftKings in forever. Yeah, I like that. That's starting to look interesting here. That actually could be good for some longer dated. NVIDIA is looking good here. Those are up. I mean, I'm probably up like, I don't know, 40% on these right now. But remember, it's a crazy week. I'm sized for 0, 38%. If it hits big time, sure. I mean, the NVIDIAs could run 300, 400, 500% if things go crazy this week. If not, I take a tiny paper cut and I don't care. James, no, this is completely different. But yeah, use code June, get 50% off your first 2 months. Make sure, if you guys are interested in hopping in, make sure you do it before June ends because I will be going waitlist only. After June, you won't be able to hop in. So it's possible that every now and then on the streams I'll open up, or the videos I'll open up a spot or two for you guys. But yeah, after June, we're going waitlist only. NVIDIA is struggling to get over 146 there. Just signed up. Welcome, Gordon. Yeah, so let me see. I'll direct you in here in a second. Yeah, once you hop in, I'll see it. I'll tell you what. Just go to the start here section. That'll help out. First thing, start with... so I probably should organize a little bit better. But if you're unfamiliar with options, watch the options videos in the Day Trading Mastery course and then start the Swing Kings course. And then just come to the streams, ask questions, be an active participant, and you're going to do great. Yeah, you just got to connect your Discord to your WAP account, and then you're good. Yeah, I mean, 48% right now on these NVIDIAs. Nice. It's funny sometimes watching like the number float up and down. Trading's weird, man. It's very weird. Like if I were to just look at that number, like some of the numbers, sometimes it'd be like, because you think about it and you're like, oh, like you're up, I don't know, couple grand today. It's like, but like a normal job, that'd be crazy. It's very different. You're interested because you worked in the day. It's hard to day trade. Yeah, well, it's hard for most people to day trade. But that's what the beauty of this is. DB, I mean, one of the best things for you to be able to do too is just be able to take a lot of these trades with shares once you understand the system. Because you could just set your take profits and stop losses and almost close your eyes. You do have to be worried about gaps, so you'd have to look. But other than that, good to go. Most of the time, the risk to reward is better on the shares trades than it is the options. So a great example of that right now is Enphase. So so the chain right now is blasted on Enphase, meaning that like you're wildly overpaying if you were to grab options on this. Wildly overpaying. So, but think about, let's say right here. Let's say that Enphase were to rip up today, and this is where the day low is, and this is your first target. You have a 1 to 4 risk to reward. So if you're risking 1% on this move, you would then make 4. With the options, if you're trading that, in order to get the same, if your position size is your risk, meaning sizing for 0, which is what most of you guys should be doing anyway, you then need the options to run like 300 or 400%. With the way that Enphase is priced, if it runs up to here, it's not going to do that. You might be up 250. The only reason why I like trading options over shares most of the time is because you can trade more things. You don't get like, I don't want to say stuck, but you're not you can look, like if there's 4 setups, I could probably trade 2 or 3 of them. Maybe all 4 of them, depending on what I want to set up the risk as on them. With shares, sometimes you have to like full port, which you don't want to do, in order to get that 1% risk, because the gap, the distance between the entry to the stop is so tight. On NVIDIA for the strike, let me see. 150, 250s for next week is what I did on NVIDIA. See? It's just right in between this first and second take profit area. But again, size for 0. Options are almost a scam. I mean, you guys saw the 1,500% gains on Oracle last week. I wouldn't call that a scam. But the other thing too is for the post-earning strategy, DB, once you're in there, you'll see it's the last video in the course section. I will never trade that one with shares, only options, because the risk reward will always be better with options on them. So in that one specific scenario, options are always going to make more sense. Because think about it like this, like where's Oracle? I can just show you guys. Like remember, my options were up 1,500% on that move, okay? I ended up selling the rest of them today for like 1,200%. Oh no, I'm never going to financially recover from this. Okay, so this is where the entry was. If you were trading shares, this is where your stop would be. Same thing with the options. You get all the way over here, let's say to the top. Even in the pre-market, what is the risk reward? Okay, so you get a 1 to 6. Scam me more, please. So you get a 1 to 6, basically, if you were to trade the shares in top ticket. Well, here, on Friday, I was up 1,500% on the options. So would I rather put my money into something that can run 1,500% or something that I have gap risk on, meaning that if it traded up here, something happened and it gaps below, and I have to size more aggressively on it, I'd rather just size it for 0, meaning just like, let's say, all right, this is a good explanation of this. Let's say you have a $10,000 account and you want to risk 1%, $100. It means that $100 is your position size. But let's say in that example too, the runners were up 1,500%. So let's say the total trade was, let's say, I don't know, 800%. Let's just say half about. That means you took 1% risk on your account, made 8. It's pretty good. When even the shares trade was only going to be a 1 to 6, and you would have had to hold the entire thing. You know? Hopefully that's clear to you guys. But that's like, that's about as complicated as it gets. Like, everything else is very simple. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. You're like, oh, that's, yep. But yeah, Oracle was fun. Are we getting anything else on the news feed here? I don't think so today. Air India spokesperson, one of our flights returned to Delhi after a takeoff due to suspected technical issue. Uh-oh, is Boeing getting murdered? No, but that doesn't look too good here. Ooh, NVIDIA back above 106. Hello. Yeah, I'm up 47% on those. Those are looking good. Yep, turned $75 into $9.50 with Oracle. Imagine that. It only costs $1 a day to be in the group, and Raul for the first 2 months, and Raul turned $75 into $9.50. I'd call that worth it, man. I'd call that worth it. Great work, buddy. Congratulations. That's great. So yeah, links are at the top of the live chat. The code to get your first 2 months for 50% off is June. Uh-oh. A little action out of here on the market here. That's the only new thing I see on the feed, though. I think this is just normal action with Euro close. When is Euro close now? Is it 11:30 or 12:30? Because it changes once a year. I don't know. I think it's 11:30. Just when the European markets close. I mean, I really like how NVIDIA looks here, man. So we're going to see what happens with it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if it does, it could be very fun. I'd like to be able to make it free before Jerome starts yapping. You know, that'd be nice. Disappointment on Nova today. I really love how Tesla looks here too. I mean, I've been talking about this one with you guys, even on the live streams and on the channel here for like, what, the past week? How if we get this type of look here on Tesla, this could end up being very fun. Yeah, this is the other thing with Enphase too. Like, it's a wild one. Like, it didn't even break today, and it's moving all over the place. Oh boy, here we go. That's what it's moving on. Iran ready to deliver major blow to Israel. That's what the market's moving on right now. But also, it is interesting that you are seeing a little bit of a muted reaction out of the market. Like, there's a running joke or meme, especially when it comes to financial markets, that like nothing ever happens. So like most of the time when you see crazy things like what we saw this weekend, it's like nothing ever happens. So people freak out. They're like, oh no, buy puts, do this. And it's like, nothing ever happens. I bet if we did some research on the nothing ever happens trade, I bet it would work very well. There's also another trade that I kind of want to look at and do some research on. It's hard. It'd be hard to do. It'd take me a lot of work, but it's like when the market sees like a 10 to 15% drawdown, you buy like the worst companies in existence with like terrible numbers, terrible revenue, and then when the market rips back up, those are the ones that go up the most. For some reason, I guess the market just loves those garbage stocks. And if you look at it, it does happen a lot. Like the Carvanas, like all the Lucids, like things like that. Like I wonder if we take a look at Lucid's chart right now from like those April lows, what is it up? Well, not anymore, but like it did go from 2 to what? 3? 50%? So maybe not Lucid's the best example, but I bet we could make a basket of them. And that would outperform when the market just gets killed. Keep AMC out of this. Yeah, everything's leaking a little bit here. So we'll see what happens. It's a little pullback. The post-earnings gap plays are the best. Yeah, like the post-earnings consolidation ones are good. Those are fun too. Zscaler is another example of that, but I don't even know what that's doing today. I didn't take this one because it was too close to market open. Yeah, that looks good. I mean, decent start on this one. The break was what? Like basically right around 306.75 here. You're up $1. Yeah, not bad. DB, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, everybody give a nice warm welcome to everybody that's hopping into the Discord today. Welcome, guys. And for those of you guys that are still looking to hop in, remember, use code June. Get 50% off your first 2 months there. Mark, what's up, man? How you doing? Yeah. Not too happy about what Novo's doing today. Not too happy about that. JP Morgan might have lowered the price target, but kept their overweight rating on it off of the, what do you call it? The Canada stuff with the patent, but like that's just a rumor. I'd love to hear a statement from the company about that because they're not stupid. Trump does not intend to sign G7 statement on Israel, Iran. I wonder what that statement is. I wonder what... I'd be interested to see what that is. Here it is. Breaking: G7 leaders have drafted a joint statement on the... Here we go. On the Israel-Iran conflict, urging both sides to de-escalate and avoid endangering regional stability. However, Trump has not signed off on the statement. The draft affirms Israel's right to self-defense and it states Iran must never attain a nuclear weapon. Oh, all right. I mean, this is why he's not signing it. Trump... I would assume that Trump is not signing that statement because he wants to negotiate with Iran directly. That is like my hope in that scenario. No war. War is bad. Nobody wins. But yeah, shout out to you guys on the like button today too. You guys are crushing it. Thank you guys. Dude, I love this chart. This one and Datadog, I think, are going to be my favorites. I did like Enphase, but, like, it's going to look stupid. You know, it's just going to do stupid things. Datadog I love, too. Yeah, DB and everybody else that's hopping into the group, you guys have any questions on anything, just ping me in the Discord. The other thing I will never do, this is another thing for those of you guys that are new, never message me on Discord. I won't respond. There's too many scam accounts out there that like you can't tell the difference between like who's me and not me. So I just say I'm never using Discord DMs at all. If you need to like reach me directly and I'm not in the chats, which I'm not almost always am in, dude, Novo's getting hit today. That's mean. Then you can use Instagram or Twitter. That's just they should both be. Twitter short the VIX 2, Instagram is short the VIX 1. They're coming after my Novo today. That's not nice. That's not nice of them. Nvidia looks great though. Stop, Romeo. You're traveling right now, huh? Yeah, don't accept friends requests from VIX. It's not me. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really expect to do anything today, but Nvidia, thanks. I'm not the biggest fan of Novo doing this. I'd like it to look better, obviously. They're screwing around big time with this patent thing. Nvidia's really looking strong here. Like, the market has not had, since Nvidia's broken out, the market has not had a green 15-minute candle. And Nvidia's just kept cruising and holding on to those highs. I like that. That's what we like to see. We call that relative strength. So the market might sell off a little bit more on that news that Trump is not intending to sign the G7 statement, but like there might be a reason for that. It might be because, oh, he wants to negotiate directly with Iran, which had already come out today. Like they are going to keep talking. But it's going to be a lot of posturing. You're going to see headlines. Like you're going to see people taking sides. It's like, dude, everybody needs to stop, you know? When you have big conflicts like this, nobody's right. Spot. Yeah, that was another good one. Shout out to you guys that are in spot. That's looking probably the best out of everything for today. Again, that was another one though that hit right near market open. And again, I wasn't really all that excited about doing things right near market open, as always, and on a week like this, and on something like spot. But like with semis looking the way that they are, and I'm fine with doing it on NVIDIA. You know, small trade, size for 0, see what happens. Here comes the market. Let's see if NVIDIA gets a little shot over 146. It's just been teetering there. But yeah, shout out to you guys on spot. That's it. Those are probably looking pretty good, honestly. The chain might have been busted on it. But yeah, I think you guys are going to be good on it. It depends, though. Again, this market's going to be wonky this week. Trump at G7, throwing Russia out of G7 was a mistake. It's interesting. You're going to see a lot of headlines, too, especially when it comes to those things. And it's like, well, there's more context to those statements. It's like, the other thing is, too, is this is probably what you guys will realize a lot from me, is I'm pretty much, like we talk about logic and probabilities and stuff a lot, which also requires not being too emotional about certain events happening all over the place, whether it be like a FOMC thing or like a good example of that right now is like, I do not think, and I've said this all year long, I don't think inflation is going to start moving back to the upside. But I know the Fed does. So I'm not going to then fight the Fed in what they keep continuing to say, just thinking that they're going to switch to my point of view, because to them, it doesn't make any sense to switch. You know, it's things like that. And also when it comes to like the geopolitical stuff, it's like, in politics, it's like, I don't like any of them. Like, they're all bad. Nothing ever good comes from like the government getting involved. So like, it's like, you got to think, and again, especially being a market participant and putting risk onto some of these moves, it's like, you can't ever let any of your like emotional beliefs dictate where you're going to place capital. The other good, like, think about if you were like, oh, the Palantir spying on everybody, and it's at 15 and it goes to 100. Well, you missed out there. Or like Philip Morris, another one. Like there are funds out there that like won't invest in what they call like sin stocks. So like tobacco and other things like that. Well, it's like, well, I gave you guys Philip Morris at 95. Where is it trading right now? 180. That's a topping candle, but 184 with 4 dividends. You know, you got to be able to stay pretty even, because that's where you're able to get your good insights from. You can't let like, oh, I think the market's too that. Nope. You know, yeah, but spot looks really good. I like how yields are moving. I do want to see the 10-year take out 4.3. That would be good. APLD, I would not go anywhere near right now. I know some of the people in the Discord got into this one down here. This is done, in my opinion. If you got into it down here, like the people in the Discord did, and then have made it free. I know Ryan had those trailing stops, so he's probably out of it. But like, I mean, the thing ran from like, well, I don't know, 5.6 to like 14. Probably a good time to take profits there, you know? TLT is inefficient. If I'm gonna do anything in the bond market, I'm just gonna trade bond futures, you know? Maybe TMF, the levered one, but probably not, you know? Iran is not winning this war. They should talk before it's too late. Trump wouldn't mind China joining G7. Trump reiterates support for Israel. Interesting. An investment in the long term in the company itself. Well, yeah, if you were going to do that, the time to do it was way back here, not as it's shifting its trend and starting to move to the downside. Like, why would you buy it at 11 when the risk is that it drops to 7, you know? This is a hype trade. This is what this was. This was a full hype trade. You gotta be very careful with those. I would not touch this with a 10-foot pole right now because, okay, let's say right now it goes from 11 to 100. For me saying that I don't like this here, some people could be like, oh, you're wrong. Why would you tell me that? Well, here's why. Let's say that you got it right here. The stock went from 5 to the high of 15, even like, let's just say right here, 134%. More often than not, when a stock runs 130% in, I don't know, 2 weeks, odds are it comes right back down. The probabilities are not in your favor at that point because it's just a hype trade. The market has to reprice it. There's a lot of other things that need to happen with that for that thing to continue moving up. So I personally will never buy things like that. They're not for me. It's in my mind, it's like typical retail trader nonsense. It's like, oh, look, everybody's talking about a stock. It's up 150%, but we think it's going to go up more. Why? I don't know. Everybody's talking about it. And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on now. You're putting your hard-earned money at risk right now versus based on what people are saying on social media about a stock that's already up that much. Ooh, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. I like to buy at the points where the danger is at where I deem the lowest, if that makes sense. Or very low. You know? I try to eliminate the amount of danger that's out there. So that's why it's like, okay, between 5 and 10 really high probability ideas every single year because everything has to align for me. Like, I'm not looking. I know some of you guys ask me a lot. You're like, oh, can you find more of these names? And it's like, guys, the reason why, like, almost all of them have been multi-100% investments on equity is because of how picky I am. Like, I'm not going to write up something and do things that, like, doesn't make sense. It's a waste of my time if I just start writing about stocks all the time and then the conclusion is I don't really like it, you know? Like, every once in a while I'll look at, like, Target. Target was a good one that I was kind of interested in and I was willing to do the work on it to say, okay, is this something that we want to put our money into? The conclusion was no. Okay, that's fine. But it's things like that. Usually I'm looking for, like, the market wildly mispricing things, which is Nova at 62. That was a good one. Or SoFi at 655, or Palantir at 15, or Philip Morris at 95. Like, there's a lot of good examples of this. Oh my God. See, this is the other thing too. People, they get so anxious about my new ideas. I literally just said, oh, I might be interested in Target. And for the next month and a half, every single day, I got like 10 messages like, did you buy Target yet? Did you buy Target yet? Did you buy Target yet? I was like, guys, I didn't even there's not even a research report yet. No, I didn't buy Target. Where is it now, actually? It's in the same range. I don't want it. I'm not a fan of this. No, thank you. I did, however, I should have bought Hood when I was selling puts on it at 28 when the stock was at 31. That I should have done. Here's another thing. If I start telling you guys that I'm looking to sell puts on things, it's usually a good time to buy. Just saying. Like, Tesla's another good example kind of this week. I was telling you guys that this day at these lows. 283 to 320, that's not bad. I just don't want to own Tesla. It's not for me. I'll hang out for a little while longer with you guys too. I do have a lot of things I have to do today. So the video for tonight, guys, might come out later, like 6 or 7 o'clock. Sorry, I have stuff I got to do later today. I've got a big meeting. I've got some other stuff I got to do. DG's getting close, is it? Yeah, there's another one. Again, like we were talking about this morning, it was like you could make the argument over this high, 113.11. That's kind of the big break level, though. This is an example, though, of a post-earnings consolidation setup. So you guys were able to nail. This would actually be interesting. Some of you guys hit the post-earnings move on this and are now potentially going to be able to get round 2. In James, like any small cast I'm looking to accumulate, guys, I look at the market very differently than I think a lot of people do. It's like I'm not like actively searching for like new investments all the time, you know? The stuff that I buy, like when we look back on it, you guys are always like, that was like the most no-brainer thing. And it's like, yes, but if the tickers that I'm looking at end up being like super high quality A+ no-brainer setups for like long-term investments, they're not going to happen all the time, you know? So it's like, I know it's fun. You're like, oh, can you give us more of these? And it's like, I would if I saw them. I will tell you guys when I see them. When I see those great no-brainer ideas, I'm gonna tell you guys. But they don't happen all the time. And that's what you guys got to realize about the market. You're gonna see all these people clickbaiting, doing all this stuff, like this, that, the other, and like they're doing it for views for them. They're like, best stocks to buy now, all the time. Like, I might make one of those videos like once a month on things that I might kind of be interested in. Like AMD was one of them. But also, it's like I already own it at $11.39, so I'm just kind of going, like, I'm not going to buy more of it. You know? Yum to the downside could be interesting. Let's see how this looks. Ooh. Yeah, if it breaks that 200 EMA here and starts selling below 140, 150, that could get pretty nasty to the downside. Will I trade it? Probably not, but it does look interesting. Does that make sense, though? Like, it's like the whole, like, the reason why I called the group Less Trades, More Profits is not just because of, like, the swing trades. It's also because, like, on the long-term investing side, it's like, being less active in the market is better a lot. Like, you guys will ask me too when I give you, it's like, when are you planning on selling it? It's like, never. Ideally, I never sell them. The whole plan is to be buying things that I can hold for like the next 10 years. Remember, I'm 26. My investment horizon is gonna be a lot longer than some of you guys. So you guys gotta realize that I'm gonna talk from a perspective of being a 26-year-old that has a longer investment horizon. Once they're up, if you want to recycle that capital, by all means, do what you got to do. But when I buy these, I'm looking to hold them unless the thesis changes. Or they get like so wildly overvalued, in my opinion, that like I have to ditch some of it. Like Palantir is a good example of that. I also didn't own enough of it, so I was like, you know, I'll just take my money here. Recycle it into something else. Which I'm probably still sitting across the board 12, 15% cash. In terms of like investment accounts. Waiting for those opportunities to strike. You know? Just the way I do things. It's worked very, very well for me. That's how you end up with things like AMD at like 11. You know? SoFi at 655. There's a lot of good ones in there. A lot of good ones. Let's see. I'd like for NVIDIA to get cruising over 146, but like, who knows? Who knows, man? This one's fair game if you want it, if it hits. I mean, I bet a couple of you guys grabbed it over this high. I didn't want to say this high because like it was kind of early, but we did talk about that. in the stream this morning. Looking forward to watching the course today. Gordon? Yeah, man. You got any questions about any of the content in there? Just let me know. That's what I'm here for. I'll be a little busy towards the end of the day, but I'll probably see it in the Discord. If not, just message me on Instagram or Twitter, and I'll get back to you. I try to get back to you guys like instantly. But all right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for today here. Again, make sure you guys hit that like button on the way out. Turn notifications on for the YouTube channel. I'm doing these every single day for you guys at 10:30. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the streams. I like doing these for you guys. And for those of you guys that still want to hop into the group, I'll throw the link in the live chat for you guys right here. Use code June. Remember, don't pay full price. Get 50% off your first 2 months. It's literally only $1 a day. And you don't pay the first 2 months up front. It's like you get to hop in and pay discounted rate. But at the end of this month, we're going waitlist only. So after June, you won't be able to just hop in there with us. But yeah, fun week last week. I think this week's going to be a little boring. Again, a lot of what you guys will notice too is like I keep everybody safe. When there's things in the market that I'm like, which is now with like a little bit more uncertainty with the Middle East tensions. We've got Powell Wednesday, no market Thursday. We come back Friday. That's going to be an interesting couple of days there for the market. We'll get a good understanding of how the market wants to react Wednesday, but still you got to be careful. So, all right, guys, I'll see you guys later. I'm going to do my best to get a video out for you guys as early as I can today. I don't know what time it's going to be. It's probably going to be later this evening, 6 or 7. That's about where I'm looking. That's what I'm thinking. But team, I will see you guys tomorrow. Those of you guys that hopped into the Discord, 9:15 a.m. tomorrow is when the live stream is there. That's in the pre-market plan and everything. You guys will see that. But